Now, when the 7th house lord of the Dashamsa of the D10 chart is in the 3rd house. Now, it's important to note that the 10th house and the 10th house lord of the D1 chart, of the Lagna lord of the Lagna chart is very important. So, unless the 7th house lord, which is placed in the 3rd house, that we're talking about in the D10 chart, has some sort of a relationship with the 10th lord of the D1 chart, the Lagna chart, then the ability of this to show more promise, more success, more relation to your career is reduced. Because if suppose the planets are the same, or they are in conjunction in either the D10 chart or the Lagna chart, or they are placed in the same signs, or they are placed with the same nakshatras, or both of them are conjunct with the same planet, then there is a stronger affiliation, there is a stronger connection between the two. Then the 7th house lord's placement in the 3rd house in the D10 chart will give more prominence or more influence on your career. However, what does this mean? 7th house lord going into the 3rd house of the D10 chart means here your ability to be able to network with people is very important. Your ability to market what you're doing is very important. And here many a times your ability to market or influence things also comes in. How much effort that you're putting in that area. So firstly, if you're doing something, maybe your own business or doing something of your own effort, or you're working in an organization where you're asking for more responsibility, you're asking for more more ownership or more flexibility, then your ability to be able to network with people and work with other people is very important. So if the leadership role will come to you, it will come only when you have shown some degree of history that you have been able to work with people, you have been able to collaborate with people, and your networking skills are very good. Your ability to work with people in different maybe other departments or other team members within your team is very important. So only then you are able to create more influence on your career, more influence in your ability to be able to grow. However, this is a very strong placement of something that you do on your own. However, this is more based on some competence that you have with either your finger or artistic approach or your communication skills or marketing or something that you learned, acquired that skill, and then you're doing something. So this is that kind of a thing, rather than you're doing something on your own where you don't have the competency. So this is a very, very strong competency base where you are also an expert, where you also have some degree of maybe experience that you have already acquired working with people, and then doing something of your own or asking for responsibility or asking for a greater role is this placement. However, sometimes what happens with this placement, that you also need to be self-motivated in such a role. There will be less motivation which is coming from bosses, coming from others. It is something that you will have to find the motivation or the energy within yourself, rather than somebody coming and helping you out. Now, what is important is, because it is the 7th house lord which has gone into the 3rd house, so without the ability to work with people and both of you are putting in equal effort, only then you get it materializes to give you results. If only the other partner is putting in a lot of effort, you are not, or the other way around, then you get less success. So this is a placement where as a team you need to put in a lot of effort to be able to get the results of the project or whatever responsibility has been given to you. If one of you is on your own and other is not supporting, this gets less support. The other is only in a collaborative role are you able to influence people better. So if you're trying to strike a deal with somebody, you're trying to exert an influence on somebody through a presentation, you will also have to showcase that the team behind you or the team with you is also very strong and you're able to deliver the results. If not, then there is a challenge. However, here sometimes what may happen is that there can be small rivalries which can also come in. Some competition can also be developed. Sometimes this can also be good placement that you collaborate with somebody who is a very good friend or a sibling or a cousin or somebody who may be a friend, but you look at the person almost like a brother or a sister. Then the business does very well, then the entrepreneurship also does very well. Some of the businesses that you can do with this is connected to e-commerce or related to marketing or sales, but also to writing. There are a lot of people who are good writers, good communicators who have worked in collaboration with others to come out with a very good writing book, or maybe some thesis they have come out with, some article. So overall, a very communication-based, effort-based, motivation-based growth and success is the placement of the 7th house lord in the 3rd house.